Well, let's just get started by centering our energy for a second. Let's bring ourselves into a nice, tall, seated stance, long spine. Close the eyes for a second, or soften the eyes if that doesn't feel good for you. Draw the shoulders up, bring them up to the ears. Let them go down. Let's do that twice more. It feels good. Let's draw our hands to the heart, Anjali Mudra. Let's do 3 Ohms together to create the container for our last session today for our Happy Path Wellness Workshop. Take a big inhale. Exhale everything into the earth. Big inhale again. I would just like to make an offering to all of our healing guides, spirit guides, and all those of 100% positivity that want to be with us in this last meeting together, to call in your presence. Thank you so much to all of our healing guides and guides upon this path. And thank you to you guys for being here. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much to you guys for being here. So how did the homework go? Did any of you guys do the homework on habits or toxins? No, that's cool. Yeah, I think it's kind of just a progress thing because habits are so deeply ingrained. Sometimes it's even scary to look at what they are and where do they come from. So just having that be in your mindset to be gentle with yourself and aware, is there a habit or a habitual thought pattern that's arising, and how is that positively or negatively affecting my life? Zoning in on what are the positive habits that you have and trying to strengthen those more than anything. Maybe even letting go of the feeling judgment towards self and trying to find the habits that need to be let go of, because that's kind of like a negative, instead of concentrating on the positive. Anyone want to share anything about habits or toxins before we move on?
I'll share. So I talked last week about my major toxin being negative thinking, and I kind of during the week had this epiphany. I was cleaning my reading glasses and I was like, wow, these are really filthy. I can't even believe how dirty they are, and I wiped them all off, and, and I'm like, wow, I can see clearly now. And I just had this epiphany of that's like my thought patterns where you don't even realize it, and you're so ingrained in these patterns, and then you release it and it's like this whole shift. And so I was trying to work with that when I would catch myself and just say, okay, I'm going to put on my, my clear glasses now and, shift my perspective. And so just having that kind of symbol or visual to work with was helpful. So.
I love that analogy. Oh, Malia joined us. Yay. Hi, Miha.
So I have one thing. I have one to share, and this is just a little bit longer. But time frame. Last fall, winter, I did a little bit of work with a niece who's doing some personal coaching, and one of the things we worked on or talked about was like rewriting your story, and I realized that my story was keeping me in the middle of some bad habits. And just kind of that acknowledgement has really helped me change some of those bad habits. And
Fantastic.
I'll be honest with you guys, it had to be, do with being a party girl and drinking wine. And it's like, it's just not working with my inflammation. And I've really over the last, since February, so however many months that is, really decreased some of the sugars and things like, and alcohol in my life. And the other thing that I had gotten out of that, and it's just kind of a good time to reflect because it's a different way of looking at the same message, was she said to me, have you ever been good at keeping commitments to yourself? And I was like, never really thought through that. Have I ever been good at keeping commitments to myself? So sometimes now when I get in the middle of, and right, I'm also giving up coffee, and I don't always keep that commitment to myself. But some days remembering that looking at it that way has helped me. So
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think also maybe instead of taking something away, like you're taking something away by not having that cup of coffee, what can you give yourself that's a positive? Like say, instead of drinking a cup of coffee, I'm going to go out and do 10 sets of double breath, palms touching. Get that invigorate, something that helps your body feel invigorated, because your body wanted something, right?
my buddy loves the coffee, but it doesn't. So no, you're right. You're right. And it's even difficult to having it a couple of times a week, because then the next day your body's like, well, come on, you gave me that yesterday. Why don't we have it today? So no, I think you're right. That would be a great thing to do first thing in the morning.
Like we talked about last week, it's hard on ourselves. It makes us start to beat ourselves up when we want to take something away from ourselves because it's not good for ourselves, but then we don't replace it with something that can take the place of that. So we're not feeling like we're, I just lost the word I wanted. We're not punishing ourselves.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Deprived, punishing.
Deprived. That was exactly the word I was looking for. Deprived. Yeah, exactly. So a friend of mine was trying to quit smoking, and we tried this. So instead of him going out and smoking a cigarette, when he got that urge to go smoke, he would instead go and do 5 sets of double breath, arms touching. And what he realized was it wasn't the substance, in your case, the coffee, that the body wanted. It was that activation, that enlivening of the endocrine system, that enlivening of the good hormones in the body to get that. And when he did that in a different way that was actually a benefit for him, it became super simple because he replaced it with something to go to when he felt that urge. If we don't have anything to go to, then it can start to feel like a chore, kind of. So
I kind of took it the opposite direction. For me this week, I made a point of taking an extra time to get in the hot tub in the evening and just be very thankful for where we live, what we have, all of the wildlife that surrounds our home. We have a ton of birds that come every day because I keep the feeders full, and I've built several nesting boxes for bluebirds and that type of thing. And so I've just, more than anything, spent time this last week thinking about how thankful I am that I live where I live, and I have a great partner in my husband, and we're very fortunate we have what we have, and we're not struggling. We're both retired. We're not worried about the next paycheck. And it just was very relaxing to be able to do that.
love that. And I love the
Good
I wanted to
job.
mention
Go ahead.
there's a type of replacement coffee you can use. It's called Dandy Blend. It's made out of dandelion root and actually does taste a lot like coffee. It's really good for you, so it might help you on replacement wise.
Ooh, that's
Anyways,
a good
Thank
I
you,
thought I'd
Malia.
mention that. Yeah, you can get it online,
have-
and it actually is really good. If you haven't tried it,
I
I would
have
recommend
some-
it. It's
yeah.
tasty.
I have some config. Have you ever had that? It's like, they make it in Oregon. I can't remember. Config or config or whatever. I don't know. Not a fan. I've kind of switched
Well,
to green tea.
This one's made with extracts of roasted barley, rye, chicory root, dandelion root, and sugar beet. So there's like, it's like all really good things for you, but it actually does taste a lot like coffee. Like some people don't even notice the difference, but it is a little bit different, but it's very close. So anyway, it's good, cold and hot. I would just recommend that if you wanted to try something
Thank
other than
you.
coffee.
Yeah, thanks, Mia. That's a great one. Let's get that for Dad for Christmas.
He won't like it.
He doesn't
He
drink as
don't
much
like it.
coffee as he used to. He slowed down a little bit.
One thing I would love to say is that there's a beautiful common thread in all three of what Mom, Ellen, and Patty said right there. And that is an inner awareness. And I think that's the key, the inner awareness to what is our energy doing and how can I shift it? And that is, yay, I'm so excited to hear you guys say that, because that's what this whole 4 sessions together was all about, is how, and I think it's something we can come back to over and over again because it's so easy to forget, that it all comes down to that inner connection to self. So awesome. Patricia, would you like to share, or Malia? Anything that happened in the past week that happened to do with habits or toxins? No? Okay. Well, awesome. And just so have so much gratitude in my heart right now. All right, so today we are talking about stress. I'm going to share the booklet here for a second.
Love that shot.
Yeah, that's a fun one. That's in Italy. That was a scary ski moment, actually. Okay, so we didn't talk about willpower. We didn't quite get to it. And I did want to mention that willpower and all of these things that we're talking about, breaking habits, getting involved with what is our inner self feeling, has a lot to do with willpower. And willpower, I think, can have a little bit of a militant feel to it sometimes because it's willpower. But I love that my school got me thinking about how willpower can be filled with love and joy. It's a joyous willpower because we're affecting ourselves in a positive way. So starting to think about willpower as a desire plus an energy directed at fulfillment. That's what willpower is. It's your desire plus the energy within you and outside of you that you can pull inside of you to direct it in any way you want to create whatever you want in life, whether it be inner or outer success. So one of the things about willpower is that it's a fluctuating thing. And we can have more willpower in the beginning of the day versus the end of the day. Our willpower can shift. One of the sayings that I love is that our environment is stronger than our willpower. I think I said that in our first session together. If your environment is dirty or cluttered or filled at all with any negativity, it's hard to have that stronger willpower. So there's just some lists in that on page 50, 51 that talks about how can become more aware of your willpower and how you can enhance it. The energization exercises are such a great way to shift the willpower within. One thing that I wanted to mention that kind of talks about what Ellen was talking about with these techniques help to clear the glasses. Another analogy on how we can think about this is that when we're walking through life, we're walking through this forest and we're on this hike to go hiking into the high mountains. But as we're walking through this dense forest, it's really hard to see what's around us, what the perspective is of the animals that surround us, of the plants, because it's just really horizontal. You can't see much. So as you climb, as you use these tools and techniques, you are able to rise above, and you become to a place where you can look down and you have a broader, expansive look at life or at this landscape that you're hiking on. So exactly what Ellen said, these tools give us that clear vision to use ways that feel better for us to enhance our willpower and let us know internally where we want to go. What is our best direction? Thoughts, questions, comments? So Kelly McGonigal, I have such a hard time saying her name for some reason. She's actually a person we're going to watch a video. She do a TED Talk she does here in a little bit. She's an amazing scientist, doctor that has done some incredible studies that showcase willpower and stress and how we look at it. But I love this quote here that she talks about how exercise turns out to be the closest thing to a wonder drug that self-control scientists have discovered. For starters, the willpower benefits of exercise are immediate. 15 minutes on a treadmill reduces cravings, as seen when researchers try to tempt dieters with chocolate and smokers with cigarettes. So kind of going back to what my friend with doing some double breath, palms touching instead of smoking that cigarette. He got that quick shift. The long-term effects of exercise are even more impressive. It not only relieves an ordinary everyday stress, but it's a powerful antidepressant as Prozac. Physical exercise like meditation makes your brain bigger and faster. The prefrontal cortex shows the largest training effect. A 2010 analysis of 10 different studies found that the biggest mood boosting, stress busting effect came from 5-minute doses of exercise, not hour-long sessions. So there's no shame and a lot of potential good in committing to just a 5-minute walk around the block. And going back to what Patty said, and I so greatly agree, that when we make that promise to ourselves, there is a shift that happens when we actually fulfill that promise. When we say to ourselves, I'm going to give myself for the next 40 days, the next 60 days, 5 minutes of yoga or meditation or affirmation walking, something that uplifts me. When you do that, there's something that shifts. And I think it has a whole host of reasons why, whether that's being that you're helping that vagus nerve be strengthened, or you're helping the nervous system equalize the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, or you're helping the fascia release the adhesions. There's a lot of different things happening, but especially when we allow meditation or yoga to happen in our lives for 5 minutes, big things happen. So moving onward. So talking about stress, I'm going to share we're going to look at, looking at the video from, are you seeing my screen or did I pop out into a different? Yeah,
Your screen's up.
We did. Now it's back to new for where, there's the video.
okay.
I have a confession to make. For years, I've been telling people stress makes you sick, but I've changed my mind about stress. I want to change yours. Let me start with the study that tracked 30,000 adults in the United States for 8 years. And they started by asking people, how much stress have you experienced in the last year? They also asked, do you believe that stress is harmful for your health? People who experienced a lot of stress in the previous year had a 43% increased risk of dying. But that was only true for the people who also believed that stress is harmful for your health. People who experienced a lot of stress but did not view stress as harmful, they had the lowest risk of dying of anyone in the study. 182,000 Americans died prematurely from the belief that stress is bad for you. I want you all to pretend that you are participants in a study.
I just want to pause that for a minute. This is a quickened version of our 14-minute talk into 3 minutes because we don't have that much time today, but I do highly suggest watching this full talk if you can. It's a TED Talk. But what she just said there, it's not stress that hurts us. It's how we think about stress. So again, going back to your inner awareness. And if you're feeling that stress, shifting it. So any thoughts or questions, comments on that so far? Okay.
You come into the laboratory, you have to give a 5-minute impromptu speech on your personal weaknesses to a panel of expert evaluators sitting right in front of you. Now, if you were actually in this study, you'd probably be a little stressed out. Your heart might be pounding, you might be breathing faster. Normally, we interpret these physical changes as anxiety, but what if you viewed them instead as signs that your body was preparing you to meet this challenge? Now, that is exactly what participants were told in a study conducted at Harvard University. And participants who learned to view the stress response as helpful, well, they were less stressed out, less anxious, more confident. Their physical stress response changed. In a typical stress response, your heart rate goes up and your blood vessels constrict. But in the study, when participants viewed their stress response as helpful, their blood vessels stayed relaxed like this. Their heart was still pounding, but this is a much healthier cardiovascular profile. It's a lot like what happens in moments of courage. We need to talk about a hormone, oxytocin. Oxytocin makes you crave physical contact with your friends and family. It enhances your empathy. Your pituitary gland pumps this stuff out as part of the stress response. And one of its main roles in your body is to protect your cardiovascular system from the effects of stress. Your heart has receptors for this hormone, and oxytocin helps heart cells regenerate from any stress-induced damage. I want to finish by telling you about one more study. This study tracked about 1,000 adults in the United States, and they started the study by asking, how much stress have you experienced in the last year? They also asked, helping out friends, show absolutely no stress-related increase in dying, 0. When you choose to view your stress response as helpful, you create the biology of courage. And when you choose to connect with others under stress, you can create resilience. Thank you.
So I know that was really, really fast. So obviously, the real version, she says things, they sped her up, talking wise on some of that, and it's a little quick. But that whole point of how are we looking at stress when something bad happens in our life. I think I shared, I can't remember if I shared this here or if it was in my bone strengthening class, that I was talking about how I moved to Argentina. Our neighbor decided he wanted to kill us and we had to move, and I thought my whole life was going to shift. And I cried on my horse's shoulder for hours. Gosh, that was not needed. That stress I put myself through was not needed. If I had had those tools back then to say, huh, so this is happening. What does this mean? Where does this mean my life's going now? Looking at it in a more expansive view. I'm on top of the mountain. I'm not in the deep forest. I've cleaned my glasses. I'm not looking through glasses that are filled with dust. Am I making myself clear on that? Any thoughts, comments?
I think any way that you're determining how you're going to relate with things around you, if the more positive you face it, the better you're going to feel about it. Even, with this COVID-19, it can just bring you down horribly. So you've got to think of a positive way to deal with it. And it's very difficult right now.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that that study that she speaks about in the video is really an eye-opener. It's not the people that had the highest level of stress that died. It's the people that had the highest level of stress and had a negative viewpoint of that stress. They're the ones that had a higher level of the congestion, the inflammation. So I don't want us to judge ourselves, but instead think, there's some tools here that I can use on a daily basis to shift my relationship with stress, with my habits, with my toxins, so that I can help the body be healthier. I'd like to read an article I recently found called I don't think I'm gonna read the whole thing, but I'm gonna read the first few points anyway. 9 fascinating facts about the vagus nerve. And I will send you guys, if you want, the link for Kelly McGonagall's full 15-minute video, as well as this article, if you like. Okay.
Yes,
so,
please.
You got it.
Yes.
The vagus nerve is so named because it wanders like a vagabond, sending out sensory fibers from your brainstem to your visceral organs. The vagus nerve, the longest of the cranial nerves, controls your inner nerve center, the parasympathetic nervous system, and it oversees a vast range of crucial functions, communicating motor and sensory impulses to every organ in your body. Now, research has revealed that it may also be the missing link to treating chronic inflammation and the beginning of an exciting new field of treatment for serious incurable diseases. Here are 9 facts about this powerful nerve bundle. Again, I don't think I'm going to read all 9. The vagus nerve prevents inflammation. A certain amount of inflammation after injury or illness is normal, but an overabundance is linked to many diseases and conditions, from sepsis to the autoimmune condition rheumatoid arthritis. The vagus nerve operates a vast network of fibers stationed like spies around all your organs. When it gets a signal for incipient inflammation, the presence of cytokines, or a substance called tumor necrosis factor, TNF, it alerts the brain and draws out anti-inflammatory neurotransmitters that regulate the body's immune response. Second point is it helps you make memories. Third point, it helps you breathe. The neurotransmitter acetylcholine, elicited by the vagus nerve, tells your lungs to breathe. It's one of the reasons that Botox, even used cosmetically, can be potentially dangerous because it interrupts your acetylcholine production. You can, however, also stimulate your vagus nerve by doing abdominal breathing or holding your breath for 4 to 8 counts, which will stimulate that. It's as intimately involved with your heart. It initiates your body's relaxation response. When your ever-vigilant sympathetic nervous system revs up the fight or flight responses, pouring the stress hormone cortisol and adrenaline into your body, the vagus nerve tells your body to chill out by releasing that acetylcholine. The vagus nerve's tendrils extend to many organs, acting like fiber optic cables that send instructions to release enzymes and proteins like prolactin, vasopressin, and oxytocin, which calm you down. People with a stronger vagus response or stronger vagus tone may be more likely to recover more quickly after stress, injury, or illness. So all of these things that we're practicing strengthen the vagus nerve. If you have inflammation in your body, strengthen the vagus nerve. If you're going through heavy duty stress, do what you can to strengthen the vagus nerve. I want to give you a story to showcase this. And who had an amazing trip planned to Brazil with her mother and fiance, something that she had dreamt of doing her whole life, and it was an exciting trip. They went on the trip and they were traveling throughout Brazil, and they were in the jungles having an amazing time, and horribly, her mother had a heart attack and died in the jungle. And of course, this was absolutely tragic and quite a horrific situation of bringing her mother's body back to the United States, of which when she got back to the States, the trauma had been so severe for her that it created a whole host of stress connected problems and not being able to sleep or eat or function. So this high level of stress, of course, was a concern for her fiance, and he took her to the doctor, hoping that the doctor would be able to help. Now, there's been a ton of research done now that shows that when we put a person that's dealing with a acute trauma situation, that putting them on a antidepressant can actually spur PTSD symptoms on. So this example that I'm giving you is the hefty version of the vagus nerve and working with our nervous system. But on lesser extremes, this identifies with us all. So the doctor put her on an antidepressant, and this stimulated a whole nother host of problems. The PTSD was getting worse and worse and worse. She was on the medication for about 9 months, and things are going very much downhill for her. At that point, a friend reached out to her and said, "We need to go to yoga together. Let's go back to a yoga class together." And she went to yoga, and I can actually identify with this feeling that after the class, for the first time in her life, she was able to reconnect to who she truly was, to that feeling of who she is. And the more she was going to yoga, the more that feeling became a normalcy in her, and was able to start to lessen that memory cycle that was happening with the sympathetic nervous system and the trauma that occurred from this situation. And eventually, she, through time, was able to bring herself to that higher level, that she climbed the mountain and was able to let go of the antidepressant and was able to heal herself through these practices. So these are huge, huge tools for you. So any thoughts, comments, questions?
So I have a question, Srini.
Yes,
I
darling.
feel it's kind of a stupid question, but how do we know if we have inflammation?
If you feel any tightness in any joint,
Okay.
if you're having incessant popping in joints, if pain is associated at all in a joint, that's going to be inflammation.
Okay.
Even a sense of lethargy and foggy brain is another symptom of inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
A lack of ability to move. You just feel congested and like it's just not easy to move the body.
Like stiff?
Stiff. Hmm.
Mhm.
That's congestion.
Okay,
That's inflammation. Yeah.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And an interesting thing about inflammation is that it can come into the fascia. And the fascia is in everything. It's throughout the whole entire body. So if we're not moving, if we get into this habit of becoming sedentary, because that inflammation is happening or for other reasons, it's only going to propel that inflammation. We have to move to help the fascia and the organs, because the fascia surrounds the organs, if we're not moving, then we are helping that inflammation to increase. So
Mhm.
It's just such an interesting thing, because if we're taking medications, even something as simple as Advil, it creates a disconnect between the mind and the body. When that occurs, then the body all of a sudden loses its own healing capabilities. And that's kind of showcased in the story that I just told you of my friend. When she was on those antidepressants, she all of a sudden lost all abilities to heal herself.
Mhm.
We all have those healing abilities within us. Herbert Benson, awesome cardiologist, Harvard professor, who's, I think I've mentioned him before. He's the author of the Relax Revolution, and he is the creator of the term relax response, of which is the parasympathetic activation that helps us to release inflammation in the body. And he talks about how, I think this is just eye-opening, how in the 16th century, a scientist, I wrote his name down. Where did I write his name down? Over here. A scientist by the name of René Descartes. He was French. He was extremely interested in the body. He was working for the French government, and the church was very upset about this. So as a political act, they decided that René Descartes would take charge of studying the body, and the church would take charge of studying spirit or the mind. And so it was a political decision to separate body and mind. And that created the Western medicine ideology we have today, that all you need to do is take a drug and your body's going to heal itself. But that's not true, and oftentimes can block us from healing. So Herbert Benson has proven over and over again in these amazing studies that he's done at Harvard that it's actually the mind-body connection that really is the big component in what he calls the three-prong aspect of healing: drugs, surgery, and mind-body connection. In his opinion, mind-body connection is the strongest of those three prongs. Highly recommend reading that book, and I can provide a link to that as well in the email. So, any thoughts, comments? Just making sure I hit all those points. I mean, there's just so much to talk about Herbert Benson on his own right. He could be just like a workshop on his own. So, cool. Well, I think we're at that point of moving into the practice. How does everyone feel with that?
Good.
Coolioso.
Hey,
All right.
Shani,
Yeah.
Shani, I have to excuse myself for a minute. I'll be back, but I'll
No
just
worries,
catch up with
darling.
you when I get back.
Okay. Sounds good. So for this practice, we'll need a cushion to sit on, and to support your knees when we're laying down. That's about it. So come to lay on your back. Have a nice cushion underneath the knees to help support the knees. Maybe a blanket under the head so the head feels supported. Then maybe a little roll under the cervical spine. I'm going to sit up to talk, but you guys keep on laying down to feel that support of Mother Earth below you. So let's start out with a minute of that ha breath that we practiced last week. So we take big inhales. Ah. I invite you to close the eyes or soften the eyes, whichever feels best for you. I'm going to mute you guys. So inhaling as deep as possible. Exhaling, helping that exhale to extend to be a little longer than the inhale. That's also a beautiful way to invoke the activity of the parasympathetic nervous system and to deepen that massage of the vagus nerve. 30 seconds left here. Connecting to the vibration of the ha. And Patty, we're laying on the ground if you want. It's up to you though. And the cushion is underneath your knees. Just feeling the full length of your spine on the ground. The support of Mother Earth. Let's give ourselves 5 more rounds of a big inhale in. So we're going to move now into a 5-point check-in. I'd like for you to stay with that long, deep breath. And I invite you to either continue with that ha through the exhale or allow the mouth to quietly soften and close and breathe through both. Breathe through the nose for both the inhale and the exhale. Your choice. So as with this 5-point check-in, we begin with the mind. Connect into your mind. Can you feel the mind soften? Can you feel the mind release tension? Feel yourself release attachments to the thoughts, allowing them to pass like clouds in the sky as they will. Allowing the brain and the mind to cleanse itself with the passing of the thoughts and the lack of attachment. And bringing our awareness now into the body, starting at the feet. Feel the feet release tension. Feel the ankles Release tension. The calves, the knees, the hamstrings, the quadriceps, the hips, the belly, the heart, the shoulders, the neck, the jaw, the left eye, the right eye, the top of the head. Take a big squeeze of the entire body. Release. Let's do that twice more. Squeeze the whole entire body. One more time. Now come into the breath. Feel that breath. And where within the breath there might be some lingering tension or tightness, constriction. Maybe even bringing the hand to where in the body you feel that constriction. And giving yourself a few more moments here of breath and awareness. Now let's bring our attention into the emotions. What are you feeling with your emotions? Can you allow there to be a softness that comes into your emotions? And then now bringing your awareness into the most subtle aspect, your energy. How is your energy? Just have a gentle awareness of it, a loving awareness of wherever you are at. And as you feel ready to, go ahead and roll onto the belly. And make a triangle with your hands and place your head on that little pillow that you just made with your with your hands. Feel the earth supporting you. Feel your spine long. And take the next 3 breaths, breathing into that relaxation and support of the earth, and feeling how the belly has an opportunity to press into the earth with the inhale, helping to release inflammation as well as really stimulating that vagus nerve. Breathing deep on our bellies is a fantastic way to exercise the vagus nerve. 2 more breaths here. On your next inhale, let's bend that left knee and just waver that left foot from side to side, creating a windshield wiper effect. And your choice here on your head. If you want, you can keep it with the forehead facing down, elongating that cervical spine, or maybe bringing the chin to the hands, and that helps bring a more of a curvature into the cervical spine. Or you can lengthen the arms out alongside the body and come to one cheek. And I want you to move that foot side to side as slowly as possible so that you're starting to really connect that movement and the breath. You feel how the breath leads the movement and how there's a beginning, a middle, and an end to both. This helps the nervous system to unwind and allows the lower back to release tension. Let's give ourselves 5 more breaths here. Even using that open mouth. May even have some popping happening in the hip, and that's the releasing of that inflammation that we spoke about earlier. 2 more breaths here. After you finish that second exhale, lengthen that left leg long, pause and feel. Is there a difference between the 2 sides of the body? If you're resting your head on one cheek, go ahead and switch the way that the head is facing so that you're resting on the opposite cheek. And let's bend that right knee and rock that right foot now from side to side, windshield wipering. Long, deep breaths. The longer the breath, the more you are creating space for your healthiest, happiest self to come into truth. Five more breaths here. Last 2 breaths. And when you finish that second exhale, lengthen leg long, take a pause and feel. We're going to come into Sphinx now. So bring your elbows underneath the shoulders. The wrists are in line with the elbows, fingers spread wide. And I really want you to bring your awareness to the collarbones and allow the collarbones to shine. So as if you're feeling them being pulled up towards the ceiling. You're lengthening your head long. And this is going to be a choice here for you. You can stay where you're at here in Sphinx, and I want us to start to create some pulsing. So we inhale, we lengthen. As we exhale, we bow in. We pull the spine, the belly button towards the spine. If you want to go a little deeper with this, on the inhale, you can lengthen the arms. And exhale, bend the elbows, come into that rounding of the spine. So we're going to be here for about 10 breaths. Go at your own pace. Again, connecting the movement and the breath, feeling into the beginning, middle, and end. Mom, can you draw your elbows towards your body a little bit more? Yeah, there you go. Does that feel more supportive? Beautiful. Let's give ourselves 4 more rounds. When you finish with that 4th round, come to your choice of relaxation. Maybe the head is cradled by the hands or the arms are alongside the belly and you're resting on a cheek. Feel. And then bend both knees and waver them side to side, windshield wipering once again. These rocking actions, super beneficial for the nervous system. Stay with the long, deep breath. And now your choice here. If you'd like to just stay soft with it, you can stay here. Or if you'd like to get more into the fascia, start to do the pendicular movements of moving your body in the way that feels good for you. So this unscripted free flow movement is one of the best ways that we can let the fascia release tension, that glue, that adhesion. Keep that breath deep. We've got about 30 seconds left here. Beautiful. Three more big breaths. Can you feel your breath growing in length and quality? And when you are coming to the end of that last breath, slowly roll yourself onto the back, pausing there and feeling. So we're going to do some shaking it out. This is also super beneficial for the nervous system and the fascia. So the knees are high, feet are on the floor, hip width apart. Your feet are in place and you're using them as a way to make the body move back and forth. So my body's moving with the pressure of the feet against the mat. And you should be feeling the tug of the skin on the mat. Feeling this behind the heart. Let the head move with the movement. Give ourselves about 30 seconds here. Three more big breaths. At the end of the third exhale, release and feel. Coming into your choice of legs, maybe Supine Baddha Konasana, straight legs, or knees together, feet wide. Can you feel how your energy is shifting inside? Okay, let's take that now into the same sort of action. This one's called shuckle. The legs are long and the movement comes from the heels being glued to the mat and the toes pumping up and down as if you're standing on your toes. Your head moves. So this is a little bit different feeling than when the knees are bent. It's a little bit different pulling on the skin. Skin being the largest organ of the body, so we're helping the cells of the skin to release. We're doing our body good. Big breaths. Three more breaths here. Can you let the breath grow just a little bit longer? Even let the tongue stick out. Open mouth exhale. Let that stuff go. Ah. Last breath here, really let it go. Then come to pause and feel. So now we're taking things into what is called active trauma release. So it's safe to say all of us have faced trauma at some point in life, and who knows where in the body it gets stored. And it's not really even that important to know the story or where it's stuck in the body. The important part is to let it go. So that's what this exercise is all about, and it incorporates yelling. So if you don't feel like you're in a safe place to make a lot of noise with yelling, you can use your blanket or a pillow over the mouth when we get to that point. But I'm going to show you what we're doing here first, and then we're going to do 3 rounds together. So the first part of it is getting out of the mind. And then the second part is the release. So the knees are bent, and we start with lightly tapping the lumbar onto the mat. And as we do that, we make that huh sound. Huh, 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 huh. So the second aspect is we bend the arms at the elbows and we start shaking the hands. And we keep making that noise. Huh, 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 huh. And then we start to rock the head from side to side and blink the eyes at the same time. So all of these actions happening at the same time helps to pull ourselves out of our mind, which helps the release to occur. So we're going to be here for 20 seconds or so. Again, I'm just showing you, so pretend I've been there. And then you go into the activation phase, which is a you really let it go. Really scream it out. Really smack your hands on. You're giving yourself a temper tantrum. You are offering yourself from your little baby, little girls to your adult girls a chance to let that stuff go. Okay, so you guys ready? Thumbs up? Okay, so got our knees high, feet are hip width apart. Let's start with the hips and the voice. Huh, 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 huh. Start out shaking those hands, elbows are bent. Let's bring the head into it. Start to rock the head side to side. Blink the eyes. Nothing is in rhythm here. Everything's at its own accord. There's no rhyme or reason. We're getting out of our minds. There's no perfection here. Huh, 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 huh. Again, we're going to be here for about 20 seconds, so keep it up. Huh, 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 huh. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go! Ah! Let it go! All of it! You can let your voice tempo change whatever you want. Let it go. This is time for you. Ah! When you're ready to stop, go ahead and come to quiet. Keep the eyes open when you come to quiet. Come back to that big breath. What do you feel inside? Are you feeling release? What are you feeling? You let that energy that you're feeling come to the spine, rise it up to that prefrontal cortex, fire that thing up. Tell your body you want to live from your prefrontal cortex. Guys up for doing that for 2 more rounds? Thumbs up. Okie dokie, sweet. Okay, here we go. Starting with the hips. Huh, huh. And if you're not feeling it, just go back to that long, deep breath. Feel into that piece. Huh, huh, huh. Arms now. Huh, 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 huh. Let's bring in the head. Huh, and the eyes. Huh, 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 huh. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go! So as long as you need, when you're ready to stop, stop, feel, eyes are open. Woo! That really gets things shifted. All right, let's do one more round. If you're not feeling that last round, that's cool too. Just come back to that long, deep breath. Okay, here we go. Hips starting. Ha, Bringing the arms in. Ha, 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 ha. Head starts rolling. Ha, 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 ha. Wrinkle those eyes. Ha, 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 ha. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let that stuff go! Going as long as it feels good. When it doesn't anymore, relax. Woo. Eyes are open. Feel that energy. Feel it come to the spine. Let it rise to the prefrontal cortex. You are in charge of your energy. Beautiful job, ladies. That was so fun to watch, guys. Nice releasing. Awesome. Okay, let's come on to our right side. Let's pause for a minute. Why don't you just give yourself an I love you to yourself? I love you. And then slowly rise on up. We're going to come into a seated position. Bring a blanket or pillow underneath the hips to support you. Whew. That one really shakes things up for me. Does everyone feel good after that? Did it stir things up? Okay, let's go into now some seated circles. So as you inhale, you come forward. As you exhale, you bow. You're going at your own pace. Again, connecting into the movement. I invite you to close the eyes or soften the eyes, the internal focus to the point between the eyebrows. Circular movements also super stimulating for the nervous system and releasing. Also helps the body to release inflammation, helping us to unwind. Let's give ourselves 5 more breaths here, and then let yourself move in the other direction. Maybe use that Moving our circle in the opposite direction if you haven't already. Three more circles here. Maybe bring a slight smile to the face. Feel that love for you. And slowly coming to stop, coming to center. Once again, connecting into the spine. Feeling your energy rise. And really feel it in that point between the eyebrows.
Hey,
Right,
Shani.
now we're going to utilize the Brahmari breath. The Brahmari breath. Patricia
Hey, Shani.
Yeah.
Your sound has gone really low.
Oh, it has? Is it better now?
Maybe you lowered it when you were screaming.
Oh, maybe. Is it not? It's not good still? Okay. All right. So we're going into Brahmari breath now. So Brahmari breath, Patricia was at my earlier class. Good job, Patricia. So you'll be doing this for a second round. But literally, this is my favorite breath. Bringing this into our life because it's so easy and so quick and so much. Quick reiteration on what it does for us. It supports healing bodily tissues. It induces sleep, calms and quiets the mind, releases cerebral tension, stimulates the pineal and pituitary glands, soothes the nervous system, relieves stress and anxiety, dissipates anger, lowers blood pressure, increases the health of the throat, and strengthens our voice. So, and this one also, the vagus nerve can negatively affect our hearing when we have a lot of stress happen. The nerves in the muscles in our ear actually lose function. So this Brahmari breath can help a lot with that. So let's draw our spine long. We're going to bring we've practiced this together already last week, so we should know it. So spine is long, thumbs in our ears, pinkies to the point between the eyebrows. Let's soften the other fingers onto the head. Take a big inhale. And let's go. Your eyes are closed. You're focused to the point between the eyebrows. Let's do 6 more rounds. Last 2 rounds. Letting the hands softly come to the knees. Feel the energy you created within. So let's now take it into Kapalabhati, our breath of fire. So one of the best ways we can also stimulate a release of inflammation is by keeping our Agni, or our internal fire, really lit up. And so the Kapalabhati, that breath of fire that we practiced last week, superb for this, because it not only strengthens our 3rd chakra, but also this area right here that's in charge of our digestion. So this is a really great way to stimulate that area. Okay, so I'm going to give you a choice here. You can keep your hands down low with the palms facing up, hands on the knees. If you want to take this into a little bit more strenuous Kundalini type effect, you can have the hands out at a 60 degrees, and your hands are in what's called the ego eradicator. And so your thumbs will be pointing at each other and the fingers are tucked in. And you keep those hands extended out, arms are straight, pulling the shoulder blades down the back. And we're going to be here for 3 minutes. And I want you at any point during these 3 minutes, if you're not feeling that breath of fire, if you're feeling dizzy at all, I want you to come back to that big long breath and rejoin us when you want, or just stay in that big long breath the whole time. Again, listen to what your inner self calls out for. So your choice if you want your hands on your knees, if your shoulders just aren't feeling it. But if you want to try to push through your boundaries and extend yourself so that maybe off the mat, those boundaries can too be more structured for a healthy you, go for that upper arm action. Okay, so we ready? So let's take a big inhale, big exhale. So an explosive exhale and a soft inhale. And a soft inhale. Closing the eyes. Internal focus to the point between the eyebrows. You guys are doing great. Keep it up. You're at 1 minute in. You got 2 minutes to go. This is also a great toner and strengthener for the belly, helping our lower back. Also helps to extinguish all toxins and inflammation in the lower intestines, upper intestinal, kidneys, spleen, liver. Keep it up, ladies. You're doing fantastic. Enlivening that fire within you. You got this. You've got about 1:10 left. You're so close. Strengthening your inner fire, your willingness to do what you want to make your life successful. "40 seconds left. Rededicate yourself for these last 25 seconds. You got this. You got this. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those arms up. Pull that inhale in as deep as that inhale can go. As you do that, pull that pelvic floor up. Pull the belly in. Pull that chin towards the chest. Your whole entire body is activated. You feel that energy rising to the prefrontal cortex. When it's not feeling good anymore, you let it go. Come back to that long, deep breath. Feel that energy is stimulated, rising. Fantastic job, ladies. All right, let's take it on up now into standing. So move slowly. You may feel a little lightheaded after that activation. So make it loving and caring as you move up. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. So we're going to start out in standing pose. And we're going to start doing a single arm circle. The feet are hip width apart. As you bring the arm back, you look with that arm. This is getting into the fascia. As you come forward, you bend the knees. As you reach back, you lengthen the body. You feel the sideways opening up. Feeling the breath connecting in. Your choice on where you have that right hand. It can be on the hip or alongside the body. And let this be a little bit of a offering of love to yourself. So if it feels good, close the eyes. Really create that inner awareness. We'll be here for 5 breaths. Always invited to open the mouth with that exhale, even maybe stick out that tongue. 2 more rounds here. Come to pause, take a moment to feel the differences between the body. Where did you open things up there? Can you feel that opening? I can, all the way up into the neck, into the occipital area. Okay, let's take it on to the other side of the body now. Reach that right hand. This isn't a fast movement, but instead an opportunity to deepen that inner relationship with what the body desires so that it can do that magic that it's capable of to heal us. 5 more rounds here. Last one. And pause. Feel for a breath or 2. And now I just want you to start moving at your own wanting. Again, coming back to that pendicular movement. We're going to be here for about 30 seconds. This is such a fantastic way to let the fascia release the adhesions. Take this opportunity to listen to what your body calls out for. Just like we did with that active trauma release, can you get out of the mind? Let the body speak. Even rolling forward and touching your toes if that feels good. Maybe making circles with the body. How do the hips want to get involved? 30 more seconds here. Stick your tongue out. Let that vocalization come back into it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Feel. What did that do for your internal landscape? Letting the body take charge. Let's take it into some energization now. Let's do some 4-part arm recharge. So our fists are together at the heart. We're going to take a big inhale, tense the entire body as we open the arms. Keep that tension as you deep exhale, arms come forward. Double inhale, you can come onto the toes if you like. Keep that tension as the arms rise up. We relax now with the double exhale. Come back down. Let's do that 5 times now. The only part of the movement that has relaxation is that last part, that 4th one coming down. Let's do one more. Pause. Feel. Close the eyes if you like. Feel that energy come to the spine, rise to the point between the eyebrows. Take it into big arm circles now with the double breath. The arms come back and forward. Stand on the toes as you rise. Double exhale as you come down. You want to pick up your energy. Just doing this alone can do so much for us in our day. One more in this direction. And then reverse it. Always finishing with the coming into a reverse circle because that helps the lungs expand. Last one. Pause and feel. Again, let that energy rise. You are in charge of how you want your energy to act. Okay, let's do some half sun salutations to really move that energy around. We inhale, let the hands rise to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Your hands are on your shins to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Do that 4 more rounds. This movement of flow helps also the fascia, as well as the connection of the body and movement. Inhale, rising, the knees are soft. Exhale, feel that energy as you pull the hands to the heart. Rise halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. 2 more rounds. As you pull the hands down, pause the thumbs at the third eye. I think with peace. Bring the thumbs to the lips. I speak with peace. Bring the hands and thumbs to the heart. I live with peace. Letting the hands come down and taking a moment to reconnect with it. Okay, so we're going to use that Kapalabhati breath of fire again now. So we're going to come into freedom pose or Muktasana. I want you to step that left foot back about 2 to 3 feet, and your toes on both feet are pointing directly towards the wall in front of us. But we're going to do a little different variation than bringing our arms above our head here. So we're going to have the legs the same, where you're pressing through that back leg, and your knee is bent over the ankle on the front leg. But the difference here is in the arms. We're going to be shooting a bow and arrow here. So it's the, oops, wrong way. It's the so it's the same arm as the leg that's forward, is hand forward, and your back arm is back as if you're about to shoot a bow and arrow at anything that's blocking your path. Your thumb is up like you're hitching a ride, and your vision is at the thumb. at the thumbnail. And we're going to bring that breath of fire back into it. If that breath of fire is just not feeling good for you, come back to the big long breath. Okay, so here we go. We're going to be here for a minute. So Mom, have you brought your arm back? So you're, yep, okay, perfect. So this is creating strength through the legs. This is called archer's pose. We are creating the future that we want. We see it in our field of vision. Beautiful job, everyone. You're doing so great. Got 30 seconds left. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull that arrow really back. Hold the breath in on at the top of your inhale, as much inhale in as possible. Pull that pelvic floor up. Pull the belly button towards the spine. Feel your energy rise. When it's ready to be released, let that arrow go. Come back to standing position and feel. So that's a really good activator for our heart chakra as well. So if you're feeling sadness or lethargic in your heart, that's a really great one. Okay, so let's come on to the other side now. Step the right foot back 2 to 3 feet. If you're feeling off balance, you can move the feet further apart from each other, widen the stance, and that helps you feel like you're not on a tightrope, but instead have nice railroad tracks balance. Energy through that back leg. Bend the front knee over the ankle. All right, we're coming on to the other side. Pull your arrow. Thumb up. Find your drishti, your focus over that thumb, and we begin. "30 seconds left to go. You're almost there. You are doing so fantastic, strengthening your inner fire. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big inhale. Hold that inhale in. When it gets to its fullest breath, pull the pelvic floor up, belly button in towards the spine. Feel your energy rise. Hold, hold, hold as long as it feels good. When it doesn't anymore, let that arrow go. And come back to stance. Close the eyes if that feels good and feel that energy you are creating for you. Woo, I don't know about you, but that makes my heart go. Okay, so we're gonna take that lovely energy and bring it to the brain with using a wide angle forward fold. So the legs come wide. I'm gonna do this in 2 phases. So let's inhale, hands to the sky, reach. Exhale, hands circle down and around, come to the notch between the hips and the thighs, and we come into the active phase of lengthening through the spine. The face is looking down towards the floor instead at me, so that you can really lengthen through the cervical spine. Pull the shoulder blades down the back. Use the arms as traction to see if you can create a little bit more space between each vertebra. We're going to give ourselves 3 breaths here. And then if you don't have any lower back pain or osteoporosis or osteopenia, let's take it into the relaxation phase. But if you do, just feel into this active phase if you need to stay here. It's a beautiful place to be too, just rolling the sit bones up towards the sky. Otherwise, relax into it, helping the crown of the head come towards the floor. Maybe wrapping the hands around the big toe, the fingers around the big toes, or the hands to the shins or the calves. Shake out the head. Big, big breaths. The bigger the breath, the more you're releasing inflammation in the lower and upper intestinal tracts. I'm going to be here for about 5 breaths. Let's connect affirmation. I relax and set aside all mental burdens. I relax and cast aside all mental burdens. Two more big breaths here. On our next breath, we'll rise, so bend the knees. Inhale, reach those hands up to help you come on up. Exhale, pull the hands to the heart, maybe pausing the thumbs at the third eye. I think with peace. The lips, I speak with peace. To the heart, I act with peace. And slowly come on down. We're going to come back down onto the floor, and we're going to come into that sacral iliac joint rocking. So lengthening the spine on the floor, crossing that left leg over the right. Legs are touching, knees are touching, and rocking in a small movement back and forth so that you really can connect into where is the edge of my sacral iliac joint. Not getting into the hip, staying with that sacral iliac joint. Oh, that's beautiful, ladies. I am loving the size of the rocking I'm seeing. Good job. Maybe placing the hand on the heart, hand on the lower belly, if that helps you to connect into yourself a little bit more. Can you come back to that beautiful, long, deep breath? Maybe offer yourself that ha once again. Ah. Ah. And then slowly coming to quiet. If you like, you can use that pillow or blanket to support the knees as we come into the twist if you don't want to come into the full depth of your twist. But we're just going to draw those knees over to the right side, scooching those hips towards the left before you make the twist to help the spine stay in its nice neutral alignment. Arms come at it to a T. Pick the head up slightly to then rotate the head to look out over the opposite arm. Breathe into this twist. Twist being one of the best ways we can help the body to release toxins. So can you help your body here just a little bit more by pulling the belly button towards the spine with the exhale? Help your body release the toxins in the spleen, kidneys, liver, intestines, belly, stomach, gallbladder. Let's take into account the beautiful affirmation that goes with this pose. I open to the flow of divine life within me. I open to the flow of divine life within me. 2 more breaths here. On your next inhale, scooch those hips back to center, bring the knees back to center, and come into the counter stretch by dropping the knees off to the left. You should be feeling an opening in that upper hip area of the right hip. Big breath. And then when you're ready, come back to center. Take a moment to find your choice for legs, maybe straight, Supine Baddha Konasana, or knees together, feet wide. And pause. Allow that energy to rise. Okay, let's come on to the other side now. Right leg crosses over left, and we come into the sacral rock. And I invite you to, if you like, try to bring the head into it, maybe rocking the head in the opposite direction of the knees. It can sometimes feel good for the cervical spine. Three more breaths here. And when you're done with that third exhale, maybe using the blanket or bolster to support you, come on into the twist. First, moving the hips a little bit towards the right to help yourself come into a twist by keeping the spine long. Arms come out to a T. Take a moment to pick that head up if you want to look out over that opposite arm. Breathe deep, pulling the belly button towards the spine to assist the exhale. I open to the flow of divine life within me. I open to the flow of divine life within me. Two more breaths here. On your next inhale, use your core to bring the knees back to center. We come into the counter stretch. Put those hips up. Make sure you're back in straight alignment before you drop the knees over to the right. And I find it interesting how I feel so different on the two sides of the body with this counter stretch. It's a really interesting awareness to come into with our bodies. One more big breath here. Following inhale, engages the core to bring the knees back to center, taking your choice of where you want to go to pause and feel it. Excellent. On your next breath, go ahead and roll onto your right side, pausing there for a moment. Take that time on your side to just say again, I love you, yourself. And when it feels right, rising up into an easy sitting position, using a pillow or bolster to help the hips rise. So we're going to do a 1-minute meditation here using the Ho'oponopono prayer. I'm actually doing a certification. Oh, did my internet just blank out for a second? Can you hear me? So the Ho'oponopono prayer is a really beautiful way to start to release the layers of memories that we have in ourselves that help create that tension, that inflammation. So I invite you to use this 11-minute meditation for the next 40 days. See where it takes you. Use this as Ellen was saying, this opportunity to create a partnership with yourself. Or I'm sorry, that wasn't Ellen, that was Patty that was talking about the partnership with yourself and how when you make a promise to yourself and you fulfill it, there's something really great that comes from it. So with this 11-minute meditation, we're going to use what's called eagle heart hands. So the thumbs come together and then you bring the hands to the chest. Yep, perfect. And that's all. That's what we're going to do with the hands. Then for 11 minutes, the eyes will be closed, inner awareness to the point between the eyebrows, and we say to ourselves, and we say it out loud or internally, your choice here. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Okay, so I'm gonna get my clock started here. Any questions before we start? Y'all feeling good with that? Unmute yourself if you have a question. All right, so hands are in place. Let's draw our spine long, head nicely cradled by the shoulders, closing the eyes, drawing the chin towards the chest. Internal focus to the point between the eyebrows. And we begin now. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. You're halfway there. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Actually, you're a lot more than halfway. You only have 4 minutes left to go. I'm not sure why I said half. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. 2 minutes left. Keep that awareness to the point between the eyebrows. Spine's long. Say it with conviction for these last 2 minutes. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Say it 3 more times to yourself. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Take a big inhale. Pull that pelvis floor up with the inhale. Pull the belly button towards the spine, the chin cords towards the chest. Feel that love for you. Feel that love rise all the way to the point between the eyebrows. Hold that breath as long as it feels good. Releasing it when it's ready. Pausing and feeling. All right, let's take it down into that restorative pose now. So maybe your feet are up the wall, or maybe utilizing that cushion to draw the spine along the cushion so that you have a nice chest expanding position. The feet can be together, Supine Baddha Konasana, maybe using some blankets to support the knees, or the legs can be straight, or maybe even the knees high, feet wide. Take the time to find that place of support for you. And I will guide us through a guided meditation and then into Shavasana. So as you make your way into a comfortable position, allow your body to settle into that witchy rest, helping you to feel more centered, grounded, and safe. Allow your mind to start to quiet and start to let everything go. The control of the breath, the sounds that surround you. Bring your full attention to your loving, nurturing breath and how it flows as it will. Begin to bring your attention to the length of the breath, increasing the length of the inhale and exhale, allowing them to both to come to their full capacity. Appreciate how the breath slows down to come to its full potential. Take the next few moments to become an observer of your breath. Watch how your breath slowly walks the path of its full capacity, a hurried approach cutting off its full potential. Only by the breath gingerly filling one alveola at a time can it bring its entirety of purpose into reality. Let your attention rest on this truth. As you have connected with your breath, breathe into a place in your life that you are not allowing yourself to be your full potential. How can slowing yourself down allow you to become your full purpose? As slowing your breath down allows it to become its full purpose. Where in your life do you deserve to slow things down so that you may become that which you deserve to be? Let your breath nurture and support you in the true, vibrant person that you are. Allow your breath to deepen even more now as you breathe into you. Beautiful, amazing, sparkly, fabulous you. Now visualize the cells in your body, the trillions of cells that make up your entire being. See a gorgeous golden sparkle begin to permeate into your cells, helping your cells truly bring back into full reality their 100% healthy purpose. As you breathe, allow your lungs to become its full purpose. Visualize, feel, and see a loving, golden, healing light penetrating deep into your being, healing you completely and totally from the inside out, helping you to be your healthiest, happiest self. With this truth of health and vibrant purpose ringing through every cell of your body and every space between, take this moment now to send appreciation out to you, your lungs, and every cell of your body for who you are. You are a magnificent source of brilliance that is so needed. Breathe into the absolute truth that the world needs your sparkle. You are part of the world's purpose. Without you, the world cannot breathe into its full potential. Allow yourself to feel the truth of this. With incredible gratitude to you for you taking the time to connect with your healthiest, happiest self. In doing so, you not only allow your sparkle to become into true fruition, but you allow every other person that you come into contact to do the same. And feeling that loving light within you, let's softly move now into Shavasana, releasing all control of the breath, releasing any lingering tensions. Bones, muscles, movement, eyes surrender now. Anxiety, elation, and depression, churning thoughts, all of these I give in to the hands of peace. Slowly coming back into the room, give yourself 3 big breaths. Start to wiggle the fingers and the toes with those 3 breaths, and maybe reach the arms overhead and lengthen the legs out long, giving yourself a big old stretch. If it feels right, maybe pull the knees into the chest and give yourself a hug. And when it feels right, roll onto the right side of the body and take a moment to just tenderly touch yourself, maybe on the head, or rub your fingers on your arm, and just offer yourself a loving touch of gratitude for this time that you've given yourself today. Touch is so important. And when it feels right, come on up into an easy sitting position. You can use that pillow or blanket to support the hips. Allow the hands to softly relax onto the knees, palms facing up. Allow your spine to draw along once in that seated position. Head once again cradled by the shoulders, chin drawing towards the chest. I'm just taking a moment to connect in. What do you feel like now compared to when we began our session today? And let's bring our hands together in Anjali Mudra and bow the forehead, that prefrontal cortex, towards the heart. And let's feel a connection between the two, the mind and body connected in a loving, nurturing way. Now whisper to yourself 3 times, I love you, I love you, I love you. And let's close this session of yoga together by chanting 3 rounds of Om, feeling that vibration of energy, of love that resides within us at all times. Let's take a big inhale. Exhale completely. Inhale fully. Love and light for our ability to create the life we want to live through directing the energy in the way we want it to go. Om Namah Shivaya. Namaste.
Namaste.
So, all I can say is I have so much gratitude in my heart. Oh, my connection went unstable, it looks like. Can you hear me? This is my first workshop I've ever held. This was supposed to be in person, and instead it's over the internet, and that in itself is a lot of challenges. So thank you guys so much for being patient with me and letting me move through my own energy shifts and blockages on creating a workshop and being patient. Yeah, and being present and being here. It really means, it's bringing tears to my eyes. It means so much to me.
Thank
so,
you, Shani. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for the workshop and all that you shared with us, and for you and your love and spirit.
Thank you.
That beautiful smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, my absolute pleasure. I just wanted to say that Ho'oponopono prayer. I was listening to a talk from Herbert Benson before we started today, and he was mentioning about the relaxation response, and what the fundamental two things are is repetition, and to allow your mind to come back to that repetition when the thoughts come in, and just let those thoughts float through the mind. Don't get attached, instead stay on that repetition. For him, it could be a word or a phrase. So isn't that what we just did with the Ho'oponopono prayer? That's a phrase that's easy to repeat over and over again. In this certification I'm doing right now with the Ho'oponopono, the lead teacher, the one that created it in Hawaii, Dr. E, he calls it cleaning. We're cleaning ourselves. We have, again, these layers of memory that create blockages. And so doing that prayer over and over again throughout the day, or be it this 11-minute meditation, we're cleaning out those memories, because we don't even know the memories. That's the thing about healing. That's why sometimes cognitive therapy doesn't necessarily help as much as it could, is because we get caught up in those memories. So again, I invite you to use that 11-minute meditation to your benefit. Give yourself that 40 days. Try it out. Chances are you're going to find a big shift after 40 days of doing that for yourself. So I guess in closing, maybe all of us can go around and say whatever they want to share, of course, and maybe also just offer one word that inspires them too. It's all going off the top of my head. So let's see. Let's start with you, Mom, because you're the first person on my video screen.
Make it difficult. One word that inspires me: family. That's one thing that's not only stuff you shared with this, but just getting to see at least two of my daughters every weekend. And Malia, not so much today because she's got us on block, but you know, family is so important, and sharing these times together really gets to my soul. Okay.
Well said, Mom.
Well said, Mom. I love you.
I love
Family
you.
is so.
Be pretty lonely without you guys.
Yeah, we need each other more. I love you so much.
There she is. She came out of hiding.
Got her out of hiding. Good job, Mom.
Dad's sleeping in the background.
Thank you for sharing that, Mom. I really
Oh, there's
appreciate
Max. I see him. You're very welcome, honey. I love you very much.
it. I love you. Ellen, did you have anything more you'd like to share?
I guess what comes to mind in terms of inspiration right now is connection, and realizing, all the ways that we can still connect with each other, and how important that is, to to reach out and to be there for each other. And so I'm really grateful for this opportunity to connect with all of you, and be a part of this workshop. And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I have to say this has been a really great circle of ladies. Really feel grateful.
Mhm.
Thank
Uh-huh.
How about you, Patty?
So, I think you said, something you took away, I think. Oh, now I have to, sorry. Dry throat. That's a lot of talking for 11 minutes. Um, I'm still back on the first day and the pyramid and just kind of putting it all together because I feel like, I used to just really think of yoga as, well, you need to do it because you need to stretch and it's just, a different kind of workout. And so I feel like this has really opened my mind to all the possibilities and um, so that's what I'm going to say is my kind of, I mean, you gave us a bunch of good tools and you got to figure out how to use them and all that. But really just that opening that door to a whole different way of looking at things that I hadn't put it all the way together. I mean, maybe nobody ever puts it all the way together, right? That's something else. But thank you for opening that door. And yeah, I don't know. I guess my word, which is kind of, whatever, enlightenment. Like I just see this whole new thing. It's kind of a big word. I'm not saying I'm there. I'm just, seeing it. So
Well-
thank you so much. Wonderful.
Yay. I love that. Thank you. Because yeah, I think that there's, especially here in the West, we tend to think of yoga as this physical endeavor, but in all reality, it's much, much more. And I think that's where doing yoga at home instead of doing it at the studio, that's what yoga at home gives us. It's that opportunity to truly make that personal daily practice and start to dive into the vast multitude of gifts that yoga can offer us, because it's huge. It's bigger than I think words can even put to it. So yay, I'm so glad. Yeah, I think that pyramid really does a nice visual of, and for us that have been raised on the pyramid with food. One, two.
I gave that one up a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah, me too. yeah, totally. How about you, Patricia?
Well, I guess my big takeaway is forgiveness, especially I forgive myself. I have a lot of things I haven't forgiven myself for. And it's a work in progress. If you haven't forgiven yourself, it makes it hard to forgive other people.
Yes.
I've been working on trying to let go of it. But it's very stubborn and very heavily entwined in every cell.
Yeah, be patient with yourself too, because that's been years worth of integration into the cell. So applaud you in being aware that there's a way to shift it. And now it's just taking it on a daily plan of forgiving yourself. Because yeah, I think especially for us women, we beat ourselves up so easily.
Oh, yeah.
So I applaud you. That's going to help your inflammation a lot.
Maybe that's the key to my inflammation.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Could be. I think it's interesting, especially with inflammation, that doctors can't heal it. So why can't they heal it? Because maybe they don't look at that mind-body connection. So,
No, they tend to just look at the physical and that's about it.
yeah, exactly. And actually, one of the things that Herbert Benson talked about in the talk I was listening to this morning is that separation of mind-body helps them to reinforce that you don't have to worry about stress. that the drugs will take care of it. We don't have to worry about it. And that when we are feeling those physical symptoms of illness, of disease, that it's all in your head. They can so easily push it off. There is no physical, there's no connection. And I've, on my very quick path of being a yoga therapist, I love your kitty. How many people have said to me that I've been told by my doctors I'm crazy, but now through the practice of yoga, no, I'm not crazy. So yeah, that mind-body connection, so much good there, so much good. Malia, would you like to share anything, honey?
Really short. I think the word for me that came up was breath. I even have it tattooed on my wrists, just breathe. And it is a constant thing that comes up for me in my life. And I think that that's really important to continually go back to that like that is what helps to relax my mind, what does help me to de-stress, what does help to, like release the tension that is in my system. And, like through my whole yoga experience and trying out different yogas, in fact, my favorite one has always been and probably will continue to be Kundalini. And that is like the practice of the breath. And I do feel like the most amazing natural body high that I've ever received is actually from that practice, and the deep inhalation at the end and then the exhale once you can't hold it anymore. It just gives us like the most release I think I've ever found as far as like in a yoga practice. And so breath was really a huge one that came up for me, and I think it always will be. And it was really nice in this experience to be reminded of that again. I have drifted away from yoga practice and really doing those like healthy breath practices. And like Pat said, that, like it doesn't have to be this huge physical thing or like going to the class and, like, well, at least for me, like that this experience, it was a more calming way of doing yoga practice. It didn't have to be daunting to approach it and just to, to try different movements. And I kind of feel like for me, at least, going to different classes for yoga or being physical, even around other people, has always brought a little bit of hesitation or stress for me. Because like even today, like I had a little bit harder of a time because Dad was here, my man, in the room with me, while doing this. And for me, it's always been kind of a distraction to have other people kind of around. And that's kind of the case for me as well in classes, that I just don't feel like I can be a true expression of myself when other people are there. And so it's just nice to be reminded that it's easy to do it at home. I don't need as much direction like from like a class like that provides, but rather, to like, I liked this scenario of being able to put my video on blank and mute myself to just like be in the process with me. Like even in your the 11-minute I love myself one, I kind of muted you down because I just wanted to hear my voice in my head and my so I don't know, like, yeah, breath was a huge thing that came up for me. And I think that helps to bring in more creation, which is a huge thing that I live for, is being a creator. So yeah, I think that was all I had on my mind.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut. I have got to go. I'm hosting a family Zoom in 20 minutes and probably don't want to do it in yoga. Thank you so much.
Just want to let you know I'm offering, since you were part of this, I'm giving you a free year membership with the yoga studio. So I'll write you. I'm talking to everybody else about it, but since you're leaving, I'll.
You guys, it's just for me. It's not for you. It's just me and Leo. Leo gets to go to the yoga.
Leo's cute.
I love you, Patty.
So cute.
Love you guys.
It was so great to meet you.
Nice to know you, Patty.
Nice to know you. I hope
Hi,
to
Patty.
see I hope to see Ellen and Patricia and some local stuff, and you
Yeah.
guys maybe show something else online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Patty.
Bye, Patty.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry to.
Yeah, I just have to say I so agree with you, Malia. It's for me, it was that home practice that just took things to the whole nother level. All of a sudden realizing that I could start crying if I needed to. Because that's the crazy part about yoga.
Right.
Is that we don't know when
Or being
emotions-
loud, like,
Yeah, or being
yeah,
loud.
totally.
You don't know when
You know,
the
like,
emotions
like with Chad being in the room, I felt silly, you know, expressing my childhood, like, tantrum, you know,
Right,
in
I'm
that
sure.
practice that you were doing. I felt silly doing that with somebody else around. And I don't think you're not as capable of practicing that fully if you have other people near you or around you or that can hear you. And so, yeah, but I was happy to be reminded of the beautiful experience of the Kundalini work that I've done in the past and how much that has, just remembering back on it, how much it really has helped me emotionally, physically, just the calming that breath can have, and being reminded that yoga doesn't have to be all physicality, that it can be also just, you know, a process of meditation and breathing and
Yeah.
light holding, which, you know, yeah, it's always, for a while it's felt daunting to you know, do a yoga practice. It just feels like, oh God, I gotta, you know, like, you know, be, you know, sweaty for an hour and, you know, like just, but I appreciate that there's other ways to do that to help to de-stress the mind and the body. Yeah, so and of course it's been lovely to see all of you ladies and my mom and my sister. Ooh. So
And I think that's also very important in that creation of a daily practice for yourself, realizing that it's going to show up in different ways because days are different. For me, I started my daily practice back in 2008 and I was really healthy and strong. And then in 2011, I broke my leg and I broke my femur, tibial plateau, and severed ACL, MCL, and LCL. And all of a sudden, I couldn't move. I had no longer had the option to use my physical practice. All of a sudden, yoga had to be something else. And that's when I realized that doesn't have anything to do with the body and how we get ourselves into the pose. It's all about that breath. Mm-hmm. And I can honestly say, because they had me on 9 Oxycontin a day, that if it wasn't for the breath, I don't know where I'd be today. I don't know if I'd be alive.
Wow.
Because pulling myself out of that Oxycontin was a hard
I know how that feels. I mean, with my hernia surgeries, they gave me a ton of Oxycodone. And by the 3rd surgery, I was like, I'm not taking this stuff anymore. Because the first 2, I re-herniated. So like the fact that I couldn't feel my pain threshold, I think helped to recreate the issue at hand. And that was reoccurring hernia surgery. So, you know, like by the 3rd one, I was like, no more Oxycontin, you know, like let's do this without any pain drugs. Cause I want to be able to feel my body and the pain threshold.
It's not a great example of that disconnect between mind and body. The body can't heal. And so now you are healing your hernia the 3rd time around, but didn't use the pharmaceutical drug. Now, each story is its own, and it's very interesting to see how each story is. But I think, just like Herbert Benson has said over and over again, there's 3 prongs, but that biggest, strongest prong is the mind-body connection. We can have surgeries and drugs all day long, but if we're missing that 3rd prong, we're going to be hobbling. Hobble, hobble.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mentioned there's a little gift.
Did everybody get to talk?
Huh? Oh,
Ellen, did you get a chance to say your word?
Yeah, I did.
Did I miss it?
I talked about connection.
Sorry.
No worries.
Okay. I had to use the restroom for a minute. So I was like, oh, you know, okay, cool.
Thanks for looking out for me.
So because you did this first workshop with me, I'm offering to you guys a free year membership with my online yoga studio to support you in your home practice. Because
Awesome.
again, it's our relationship.
Oh,
Well, Ellen, you already
Thank
signed
you.
up. But you'll be put into a free year. So
Okay.
you should not be getting any billings. If you do, let me know. Okay.
Okay.
I'll make sure that doesn't happen.
Okay.
So that membership will be based off your email. It's actually pretty exciting. This has been a 6-year project of love for me that started out with just me as the yoga teacher, but now we're 15 teachers, I think, around the world. And you'll see that most of the videos right now there are me, but we're starting to get more and more videos from all the other teachers. So we're having some slight challenges because this new site just got rolling. But so in saying that, if you come across anything that's weird or you're having problems, please email me and let me know, because we're trying to find the glitches that do occur with new websites. But so I will be setting you up with that year membership. And yeah, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much.
All right, shall we close by doing an Om together?
Sure.
So let's take a big inhale. Exhale it out. Feel the love that we connect with each other, that connection that Ellen talks about. Another big inhale. Love, love, love to each one of you. And know that I'm here for you at any time. If you're feeling like you got some energy blocked up and you don't know where to go, I'm always available. I'm here to support you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Have a fabulous day, and yeah.
And happy birthday month, Jeannie.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday month.
Turning 47. Yikes.